Yo, what's good? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. So on this one, I have Brother Philip Scott in the broadcast room. Shout out to him. Apparently, there's a MD out of Columbus, Ohio, and she got in an altercation with, I guess this was her, of course, were probably her patients and things like that. She started calling these black people all types of egregious names, slaves, N-words with the real R at the end and stuff like that. Yeah, it got very dangerous. It got very close. And the reason why I'm doing the reaction to Brother Philip Scott's side, he also adds on an extra layer of understanding of the dynamic between, Black Americans and the Africans that come over here, stuff like that. So yes, listen, look, we're gonna go ahead now. We're gonna dive off into this. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Well, tonight in the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, there's a West African immigrant by the name of Adama Diallo. Now, she is a nurse practitioner. And this woman had got into it with some Black Americans. And I want you to listen to what she says about Black Americans. Some of it I had to silence due to the words she's saying, but I'll tell you exactly what the words she was saying that was just kind of, shocking, but not shocking, actually, about this particular incident. So let's go ahead and roll this particular footage.
Your ass back to the slavery.
With your ugly.
Get out of the boat, you ugly slave.
Talking about you talking about a prostitute
You
bitch.
are a
You
slave.
got some booties with some
Slave.
some
You
tap
are a
dance
fucking
shoes.
slave. You are a
Get the fuck up.
slave. Get the out of my place. You are a slave.
You
Look
a
at you, a
slave.
dog. A dog, you living on kiosks, living on people's tax money and giving
You man.
Get your and go get yourself a job. Bitch. All of you guys, you are
Bitch.
Yeah.
All of you guys, you
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah. Get out.
You know?
Get out. Get out of my place.
Get out your place.
I'm not gonna get you. Oh yeah, you are on pesos. Who knows what the heck you doing?
And you right.
Pesos,
You right. You right.
You Negro.
You right.
You are a Negro.
You
Look
right.
at you.
She
You
said,
coming
"You are a
from
Negro."
both.
You
Both
right.
people ask at you.
You right.
Go get your ass and get yourself a job.
You right.
Now, the words that
Now, hold on. Before I let Brother Philip speak. Now, listen, look, I don't want to justify anything that she did because, for her being a professional, she should, have more decorum about herself and things like that. She needs to be more professional than that. Definitely should have been. She shouldn't have been throwing those types of slurs out there. Now, those are real slurs right there. Okay. Not like the news anchor of the video I did where he was talking to I think it was one of the congressmen and stuff like that, and he was talking about he was slurring Kamala's race and stuff like that. These are real slurs that she was putting out here. But she did bring up about the fact that they were living on government assistance. And yeah, I definitely have to bring that to the forefront right there. Now, those individual Black people probably were living on government assistance. Listen, look, they probably paid with whatever assistance, voucher that they had for whatever health care they needed and things like that. It could have been. Now, that's neither here nor there. We really don't know. I just want to bring that up, that she brought that up, and also to show how we are perceived as Black people over here in this country, that we do live on welfare overwhelmingly, and we just, are just out here living for free and shit. I mean, Okay. So let's dive off into what Brother Philip had to say.
that were silenced, she was calling these Black Americans the N-word with the hard R. Now, she's been here long enough to know that Black Americans don't use that type of language. Only them folks use that kind of language. You understand? But she had no problem calling them slaves. But the interesting part is, if you know colonization, because this woman's from West Africa, if you know the story, during colonization, that was slavery too. It's not like, when people from West Africa was part of the slave trade and they sold off their brethren to the white man. The funny part is those who sold them off, they also gathered the slave traders up and put them in slavery too. That was like the irony of the whole thing.
Yes, it was. Okay. Like it or not, that's definitely what happened, and that's the whole point. We started off doing this to ourselves over there. If you really actually do your research and actually accept the truth, yeah, we sold each other off. We stole each because we were warring tribes at that point. Still, like they have wars and stuff like that over there now, because Africa is made up of a shit ton of different small individual countries and things like that. It's like how we have states over here, they have countries over there, and each country is its own governed. So yeah, that's kind of how it worked. And they took other people from other countries over there and then sold them off, things like that, and then eventually they got taken too.
Like, could you imagine that? You making all this good money off of selling slaves, and then the white man say, all right, we gonna get you too. We need another one, right? So they weren't in no economic partnership. So if you call them Black Americans a slave, then ma'am, you a slave too. Just bottom line. But there's people that don't like Black Americans. And when you want to talk about Pan-Africanism, you know who destroyed Pan-Africanism? It was African immigrants, Caribbean immigrants, people from Latin America that's Black. They destroyed it because they didn't want to be labeled as Black. They don't want to be worked together as one. They don't want to do that because they don't do that in their own homelands. You understand? They are completely divided. Look at what happened in Rwanda. 1 million people lost their life. Tribal beef, right? I've been told by many Africans that Black Americans are the most unified group out of all of them. And I definitely know that to be true. We got our issues and problems, but we are unified for pretty much so.
And I could kind of agree with that to a degree. We definitely are not as unified as we used to be once before. Considering if you want to talk about the civil rights movement, all the type of stuff, things like that, I get it. And also to the ups and downs of the civil rights movement, because there were ups and downs and there were slips and falls and things that could have been done better for us as a people to put us in a better position today. But yeah, I could guarantee we probably are a lot more unified than people in Africa like that, due to the wars and stuff like that they have going on. And still to this day, they still have actual tribal wars going on at a tremendous rate.
But this woman, she thinks she's better. That's the interesting part. She's telling them, get a job, get off the government. Ma'am, you wouldn't even be here. It wouldn't been for you being on our government. What are you talking about? If you don't like slaves, why did you come to the land of the slaves? We built this place. If it wouldn't been for the slaves, you wouldn't have had no opportunity to come here, because before Black Americans fought to get these rights that you're enjoying.
Definitely so. Definitely so. We did fight to get the rights and things like that. That's how it goes.
Folks didn't want nobody here but Europeans. They didn't want you here. So you're sitting up here insulting Black Americans, but the only reason you're here and you have what you have is because of the fight and opportunity that Black Americans gave you for coming here. Now, there's a lot of Black Americans say, okay, well, we're going to turn this video in. This woman is a danger to any kind of Black American patient. She's dangerous because she's sitting up here saying the N-word, the hard R, and slave, because call it what it is. If it was a white woman did this, it'll be held to pay. And everybody be wanting her license and everything else. And you got people calling about the people and reporting her to the licensing board in Columbus, Ohio. They're reporting her. And rightfully so. Because it wouldn't be right if a white person or another group of people did it, and then she did it, and like, oh, well, no, oh, well, nothing. If we some slaves, well, let the slaves show you exactly how we get down, since we some slaves. If you don't like slaves, then maybe you need to carry your happy self back to your homeland and go open up your practice over there.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I mean, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. But I guarantee you, though, she does not want to do so. She does not want to do that. You know, she came over here for the opportunity to better herself and things like that. And I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it at all. You know, there is better opportunity here than a lot of other places. And regardless of whether we like the truth or not, we are in a land to where we can achieve great opportunity if we apply the discipline and the structure in our individual lives to try to, you know, gather as many resources as we can. But yeah, though, when individuals like that come from other spaces, especially, they still have the same tan and stuff like that, regardless of how they feel or think or whatever. Yeah, you're going to be placed in the same minority spaces. It just is what it is. And, you know, regardless of what, you come over here, and then obviously she's set up and she has been probably accepting, you know, Black Americans and stuff like that. She's been happy to accept that Black Americans have been coming into her office and things like that, and actually been paying her with set welfare and this and that all this time. So, I mean, you know.
What the French toast is there to think about?
I mean, you know, I'm just saying, they've been paying her with that all this time. You know, she's go get a job, get off welfare. Okay, so you've been accepting these Black Americans coming into your office. You've been conducting whatever you need to conduct on these people as far as with your practice and things like that. And you've been accepting the payment from these people in that way. So now you're going to put down the same payment that's actually basically allowing you to live and thrive. I mean, you know.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Come on here.
And that way you don't have to deal with the slaves. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I do believe in working with Black people globally, but not everybody I'm going to work with. I wouldn't work with everybody in Black America. Because if you think about it, Pan-Africanism was saying, well, we just need to unify with anybody that's of African descent. But that's really what's wrong. Because, you know, good and well, if you just live life long enough and just dealing with people, you know, you got some good people and some bad people, even within our own groups, even within your own individual ethnic groups, you know, you got some bad people.
Right.
So we shouldn't have that attitude. I'm just want to go support anybody Black. No.
Right.
I want to support Black people that have the right mind.
I mean, even the white people don't support anybody that's white. Why do you think you got trailer trash, you know? I'm just saying here. That's the white people's ghetto, you know. I mean, come on now. Let's just be honest with this.
And said the right heart, the right character, that sort of thing. Yes, color, I consider you, but that's not the end all be all, because I don't want to unify with a devil. I don't want to unify with someone that's speaking like an anti-Black racist. That sound like they went to a Klan meeting, and that's what that woman sounded like. I don't care what happened before the video. The fact is, she's going to literally ruin her whole work that she's worked for because she had this inner hatred for Black Americans. Black Americans are discussed in other people's households. We won't be there, and people discussing us. Like, why? We're not even thinking about y'all like that. But just maybe Black Americans should maybe just, you know, figure out a way to help her go back to her homeland, and that's it. She needs to go back to her homeland if she don't like Black Americans. Just that simple. And the funny part is they think they're actually different. They think that the folks is going to sit up there and treat them better or something. You see what's going on in the UK right now? You know what I'm saying? They're not treating you no better. They don't care. You're not them. It's just that simple. And then you didn't have the white lady employees looking like, she's looking like, oh God, okay. You know what I'm saying? You know, she went home and laughed about that. You say, you know, this one called this one a slave? Like, huh?
Exactly.
They'd probably be shocked about it. Even the white people be shocked.
Exactly.
You call him a slave? Like, are you serious? You know what I'm saying? But this is why delineation and the delineation movement is so strong right now. And it's not going nowhere no time soon because of people just like this woman in this video. Then some of you want to cry about delineation. Oh, you Black Americans, you starting to be xenophobic, you this and that. No, 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 no. That woman right there, and many people like that woman, is the reason why the delineation movement has happened. Because they got people that think like that woman get in politics, and they're advocating for everything else except for something for Black Americans. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. See, that kind of woman, the Democrats will love to put her in a position. They'll love that because she can't stand us, and they love using a so-called black face to do their bidding. But yeah, brothers and sisters, you are in danger if you go to that woman's practice in Columbus, Ohio. Please stay away from that woman's practice, and report. Send this video to whatever board you need to send it to, because this woman is discriminatory, and that's a danger for the lives of Black. Well, tonight.
Yes. Okay. So yes. Shout out to brother Philip Scott. Yeah, definitely though. And this is the thing here. When you have individuals like that come over here and things, and I'm more than happy to see any immigrant come over here legally and want to prosper and add on to the taxpaying society and stuff like that want to live a decent life, that want to, be prosperous and make something good of themselves. Listen, look, come on over. That's going to add on to society. Come on over. That, may actually, help with a lot of things. Jesus, I mean, we need everybody that's going to be productive citizens. But when people come over here with the inner hatred and things like that because of what they think that they know and don't actually know the actual insides because of course, propaganda, a lot of things that get fed throughout the world about Black Americans, it's the worst that gets presented about us first, of course, as we all see, which they feed us in our own homeland. If you pay attention to the politics and things like that, the way that they, the last situation that happened where Kamala was in Atlanta, all types, the things that they feed us is even tragic. The music, all types of stuff. We don't, man, wow. Yeah, it just is what it is, man. It is what it is. But that woman is definitely a danger, and she's actually practicing in the health field. So yes, she definitely needs to she has to go. Real talk, hey.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
With that type of mindset, and now that she's put it out there, she definitely has to go. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure that you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.
Talk about that some other time.
No, I want to talk about it now. See,
Fred,
another reason
I said we'll talk about that some other time.
you don't tell me what I can talk about. You don't tell me what I can talk about in my own house.
Don't you point your finger at my nose, Fred Sanford.
I'll point my finger at your nose, and I'll point my foot somewhere else.